The 1997 French 5 centimes coin is a small yet symbolically rich piece of modern French numismatics, representing the concluding years of the French franc era before the transition to the euro. Minted by the Monnaie de Paris, the Paris Mint, this coin was one of the lowest denominations in circulation and had been a part of everyday transactions in France for decades. By 1997, the French people were already anticipating the upcoming change to the euro, but the 5 centimes still held both practical and sentimental value. This coin, while modest in size and worth, represents a part of France's rich monetary history and reflects the artistic, economic, and political sentiments of the era. The obverse, front, of the 5 centimes coin from 1997 bears the image of Marianne, a national emblem of France and a symbol of the Republic. She embodies the values of liberty, equality, and fraternity, the foundational principles of the French Republic. Marianne is traditionally depicted wearing a Phrygian cap, a classical symbol of freedom dating back to ancient Rome and the French Revolution. Her portrayal on the 5 centimes coin is graceful and stylized, with a profile view that blends classical influences with modern French design sensibilities. The legend République Française, French Republic, surrounds her, boldly reinforcing the national identity. On the reverse, back, side of the coin, the design features the denomination 5 centimes prominently at the center, accompanied by the year of mintage, 1997. Encircling the denomination is the inscription Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, the national motto of France. This placement of the motto is not just decorative, it reiterates the commitment of the French nation to uphold these core values. Surrounding the denomination is a wreath-like design composed of olive branches, oak leaves, and wheat sheaves. Each element has symbolic significance. The olive branch signifies peace, the oak represents strength and endurance, and the wheat symbolizes fertility and agricultural prosperity, key elements of France's economy and heritage. The 5 centimes 1997 coin is made of aluminum bronze, a durable and corrosion-resistant alloy consisting primarily of copper and aluminum. This composition gives the coin a warm golden hue and a lightweight feel. It weighs approximately 3 grams and has a diameter of about 19 millimeters, making it easy to carry and ideal for small-scale daily transactions. The coin has a smooth edge, typical of low-denomination currency, and it exhibits excellent wear resistance due to its composition. The coin's overall lightness and thinness made it convenient in large volumes, but also prone to being lost or overlooked, especially as inflation reduced its purchasing power in the late 1990s. The mintage figures for the 1997 5 centimes coin were quite high. Millions of these coins were produced to meet the demands of a country where cash transactions, even in small denominations, were still widely practiced. These coins circulated extensively across France and were part of the everyday experience of French citizens, from buying a baguette to paying for public transportation or small treats at a corner bakery. Although its value was modest, its ubiquity gave it an intimate presence in the economic and social life of the nation. As France prepared to adopt the euro, people became more aware of their currency, often holding on to some coins as keepsakes of a vanishing era. In the historical context, 1997 was a year marked by political changes and growing European integration. The European Union was preparing for the euro's official introduction in 1999 for electronic use and 2002 for coins and banknotes. As such, the 1997 5 centimes coin represents one of the final chapters in the life of the French franc. Many collectors see coins like this as symbolic mementos of national identity during a time of continental unification. Even though it was still widely circulated in 1997, its days were numbered. The sentiment surrounding this coin today is often nostalgic, reminding older generations of a time when the French franc was not only currency but a cultural identifier. In terms of numismatic value, the 1997 5 centimes coin is not considered rare, as it was mass-produced and saw significant circulation. However, uncirculated specimens or those in mint condition can still be of interest to collectors of modern European or pre-Euro coinage. Coins graded as UNC, uncirculated, or BU, brilliant uncirculated, may have slightly higher value, often depending on the condition, historical interest, and any minor minting variations or errors. While a typical circulated piece might be worth only a few cents today, high-quality specimens could fetch more, especially when included in full sets of pre-Euro French coins or used in educational displays. This coin also holds cultural and emotional value for many French citizens and Francophiles. Its disappearance from everyday use symbolizes a broader shift in the cultural and economic landscape of Europe, from national currencies to a shared economic identity through the euro. While some welcomed this change, others felt a loss of cultural uniqueness. The 5 centimes coin, along with its other franc-denominated siblings, became a token of memory, often kept in drawers or passed down as small heirlooms, reflecting a period of national pride, artistic tradition, and everyday life that has since transitioned into history. The design of the 1997 5 centimes coin is often praised for its clarity, harmony, and symbolism. It reflects the enduring commitment of French numismatics to merge artistic excellence with political ideals. The figure of Marianne stands not just as an image, but as a representation of France's revolutionary past, civil liberties, and republican heritage. The balanced layout, elegant script, and botanical motifs on the reverse speak to a long tradition of coins being not just currency but miniature works of art. This attention to detail and symbolic meaning adds depth and character to an otherwise simple coin. By the time the euro was introduced, the 5 centimes coin was largely seen as outdated in practical use. With rising prices and the natural effects of inflation, the coin had limited purchasing power. Still, its removal sparked public conversation about the cultural cost of monetary integration. For collectors and historians, it became important to preserve examples of coins like the 1997 5 centimes to document and remember France's independent monetary identity before the euro's rise. Today, the 1997 French 5 centimes coin stands as a quiet but profound testament to a transitioning Europe, a nation's artistic expression, and a people's shared daily experiences. Whether kept as a nostalgic keepsake, studied for its numismatic details, or displayed as part of a broader history of European coinage, this small golden coin continues to carry significance well beyond its face value. It reminds us that even the most modest coins can reflect the values, politics, and history of a people, and in doing so, earn a place in both the memory and collection of those who care to look deeper. The 1966 French 5 centimes coin stands as a small yet compelling piece of monetary history, bridging a vital era of French economic stability and cultural identity during the mid-20th century. Struck under the Fifth Republic, this coin represents not only a means of commerce but also a deeper expression of national symbolism and the enduring legacy of republican ideals. The 5 centimes denomination was long considered the lowest common unit in the French currency system, a coin often used in small purchases or change transactions, yet it held intrinsic value in the day-to-day rhythm of French life. By 1966, France had already transitioned from the Fourth to the Fifth Republic in 1958, and under the leadership of President Charles de Gaulle, it was a period of renewed national pride and centralized governance. The 5 centimes coin minted during this time speaks volumes about the era's political stability, economic rebuilding post-World War II, and the drive for modernization in both French industry and coinage. The obverse, front, of the 1966 5 centimes coin features the iconic Marianne, the allegorical figure of the French Republic, in a classical profile view. Marianne wears the Phrygian cap, a symbol of liberty and revolution, which harkens back to the revolutionary ideals of 1789. Her image is not merely decorative, it is a bold statement of France's identity as a secular republic rooted in Enlightenment ideals. Surrounding her bust is the inscription République Française, reinforcing the legitimacy and sovereignty of the Republic. The engraving is detailed and balanced, capturing both a timeless elegance and a resolute dignity. Marianne's presence on French coinage has long stood as a representation of democracy, freedom of thought, and national unity, a female figure who transcends politics, standing as a cultural emblem. On the reverse back side of the 1966 coin, the design centers around the denomination 5 centimes, boldly inscribed in clear, stylized text. Just below the denomination is the date 1966, marking its year of minting. Surrounding these inscriptions is a circular design of symbolic flora, most notably including the wheat ear, olive branch, and oak leaves, each chosen for their allegorical value. The wheat symbolizes agriculture, nourishment, and the backbone of the rural economy. The olive branch represents peace, stability, and international diplomacy, while the oak stands for strength, endurance, and justice. Encircling the coin's reverse face is the famous national motto, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, Liberty, Equality, Fraternity, words that define the ethos of the French Republic and its social philosophy. This combination of values and symbolism in one small disc of metal showcases how even the most humble coin can carry profound meaning. From a technical standpoint, the 1966 5 centimes coin was made of bronze aluminum, an alloy of copper and aluminum that gives it a golden color and light weight. This composition, chosen for its resistance to corrosion and ease of mass production, made the coin practical and long-lasting. It has a diameter of approximately 19 millimeters and weighs around 3 grams. The coin's smooth edge is typical for low-denomination coins and helps differentiate it from higher-value coins with milled or reeded edges. Despite being one of the smallest denominations, the 5 centimes coin was crafted with attention to detail and precision, reflecting the importance the French mint placed on quality and uniformity. In terms of minting history, the 1966 5 centimes coin was produced by the Monnaie de Paris Mint, one of the oldest minting institutions in the world, established in 864 AD. The 1960s marked a high point in the mint's production, with millions of coins being struck annually to meet the growing needs of the French economy. The mintage for 1966 was large, reflecting the denomination's widespread use in daily transactions. Though exact mintage figures for this particular year may vary slightly among sources, it is clear that the coin was not rare at the time, circulating widely across France in grocery stores, newsstands, cafés, and markets. It was the kind of coin found in the pockets of children and adults alike, used to buy a loaf of bread, a newspaper, or a bus ticket. During this period, France was undergoing significant economic and cultural change. The 1960s in France were defined by both economic growth, often referred to as les Trente Glorieuses, or the 30 glorious years from 1945 to 1975, and increasing urbanization. Traditional ways of life were shifting, and new social movements were gaining momentum. Amid this transformation, the 5 centimes coin remained a constant companion to daily life, simple, accessible, and symbolic. As prices rose over the decades, the coin's purchasing power diminished, but in 1966, it still held value for microtransactions, especially in rural or less affluent communities. In the numismatic world, the 1966 5 centimes coin is considered a common-date coin, especially among the series minted between 1960 and the late 1990s. As such, it doesn't command a high premium on the collector's market unless it is found in exceptional condition, graded as MS, mint state, or brilliant uncirculated BU coins that have been well preserved, never circulated, or found in proof sets may be of more value, particularly to those building date-by-date sets of French coins or studying the evolution of Marianne's portrait and national iconography. Any errors or misstrikes, while uncommon, could also slightly elevate the value. As France moved closer to joining the European Monetary Union, the days of coins like the 5 centimes were clearly numbered. Although the euro wouldn't physically appear until 2002, the planning stages had already begun decades earlier, with France among the earliest and most active participants in laying the groundwork for economic integration. By the 1990s, inflation and evolving banking technology had rendered many of the smaller franc coins, like the 5 centimes, obsolete in practical terms, though they were still legal tender until the transition to the euro. Their eventual withdrawal marked not just the end of a currency system, but the close of an era where French coins served as everyday tools of both commerce and culture. Today, the 1966 5 centimes coin holds more historical and nostalgic value than monetary worth. It remains a cherished artifact for collectors, historians, educators, and anyone interested in French heritage. It tells the story of a France that was rebuilding, reasserting its global position, and negotiating modernity while clinging to traditional republican values. Many people still keep these coins as mementos of their youth or as souvenirs from a trip to France in the 20th century. The sound of these coins clinking in one's pocket, the gleam of their bronze hue in the sunlight, and the familiar inscription of national ideals bring back memories and invoke a sense of timeless pride. In conclusion, the 1966 French 5 centimes coin may be small in size and low in face value, but its significance extends far beyond the physical. It encapsulates a snapshot of mid-20th century France, a nation of history, revolution, art, and philosophy, expressed in metal. It is a coin that carries the essence of ordinary life and national identity, all while reflecting the economic patterns and artistic values of its time. Though no longer circulating, the 1966 5 centimes coin lives on in collections, books, and memories, continuing to tell the quiet story of France's resilient and evolving republic.